So after looking at the past 3 to 4 games for the French national team in the World Cup, I think that it is safe to say that Koundé is going to be one of the best right backs in the world one day. And if not, probably the best right back in the world, but in a few years. We do not know when, but it is going to happen. And this is a very important topic that I have been wanting to talk about, because when we talk about Koundé, many of us want to figure out, okay, what's going to be the future of this player? Is this guy going to commit becoming a center back full time for Barcelona and France, or is he going to commit becoming a right back full time for Barcelona and also France? Because I look at Koundé and what he has been doing in the past 3 to 4 games for France. Like I have said, he has shown that he can be the best right back in the world. And let's talk about that, because I know that sounds very insane for me to say, which is why, again, I want to make this video. But before we go into any of this, I do want to speak about our sponsor for today, and that is going to be the OneFootball app. If you guys want to find out what is currently going on with your favorite team or international team, whether it's a club or, again, the international teams, like what is going on in the World Cup, for example, France, Germany, Argentina, the Netherlands, or any of those teams that you do want to follow, the OneFootball app is going to be there to cover for you immediately and live on your phone. It's going to give you the latest formations, the lineups, the stats, and most importantly, the latest score lines. It gives you complete coverage in the world of football. On any team that you do want to support, the OneFootball app has it, and they can bring it to you on your phone. The only thing you do have to do is download the OneFootball app by either scanning the QR code that you do see here on the screen. But if you don't have a camera, you can also click on the link down below. That'll take you straight to the App Store. You download the OneFootball app, you set exactly who and what you do want to follow, whether it's, again, an individual player or an international team or a club team, and then you'll be set and done from there. It is a free app, and I hope you guys do enjoy it. But now let's go back into this video and let's talk about Koundé, because again, like I've said, France have used Koundé for the 3rd time in a row as a right back. Koundé has shown that he is capable to play both as a center back and as a right back, and at a very good level. He has defended very well against Poland in the most recent game, and he has attacked very well against Poland. That was the game where I'm like, okay, this is it, right? This has to be something that we have to discuss in our channel, because he is simply just too good to talk about. And what's so interesting about this whole thing is that throughout all of this, throughout Koundé playing as a right back and going up to attack and going down to defend, he has been working very well with Dembélé. And Koundé has shown many times through interviews that he does enjoy working with Dembélé, that there is a chemistry going on. So something is being built behind the scenes that many of us are not really like looking at. We're talking about how France is so good because of Kylian Mbappe, Oliver Giroud is playing amazing, Tchouaméni is also bossing the midfield, but no one is talking about what is being built on the right flank, which is between Koundé and Dembélé, something that can be placed at Barcelona, because we do have those two players. And this whole thing is completely normal when it comes to Koundé going in the right back position. Even though he started his career as a center back, this always happens. It has always happened. Like historically, we have seen defenders switch different positions. Like for example, Puyol at one point was switching on and off on playing as a right back and also as a center back. And there was a point where he was almost playing full time as a right back, and especially within those Champions League finals that we played about 10 to 11 years ago. The same thing can be said with Maldini at AC Milan or Italy. He was playing as either a center back or a left back. And at one point, just like Puyol, he was playing as a full-time left back, and he was playing amazing. And it's so exciting to know, right, that Koundé is becoming a player where we can put Koundé in the exact same sentence of Puyol or Maldini, not in terms of level, or like, I'm not trying to say that Koundé is going to be like Maldini or like Puyol. Like, let's have Koundé paint his own journey. But when it comes to being versatile and being able to play as a center back or a fullback, Koundé is in the conversations right next to Maldini and Puyol and many more. And you can really just project what Koundé can become in the very near future. And I know that Xavi Hernandez is probably taking so many notes on this campaign that Koundé is having with France and looking at just how well he has been playing under Deschamps. So he's probably like, okay, Koundé is playing very comfortable as a right back and he's building with Dembélé. Let's see if I can bring this type of chemistry to Barcelona, and how could we do it within our own style. We even look at the map here, we can see that Koundé does enjoy giving out a lot of passes towards Dembélé, and then Dembélé is like winning by like a huge margin when it comes to receiving balls by Koundé. That Tchouaméni comes in at second place, Varane comes in at third place, which is obvious, right? He is a center back, he does play right next to him, but he does pass the most towards Dembélé. Dembele. And so again, if we can bring this understanding to FC Barcelona, it's going to be a huge plus and a huge, it's not going to just benefit Kounde, but it's also going to benefit Barcelona as a whole. And so if we can have a back line of Kounde as a right back, Ronald Araujo as a center back with Christensen right next to him, and Alejandro Balde on the left back position this season, we can have a back line that can be very dominant against the toughest teams. And we can beat the Atletico Madrids, the Real Madrids, and whoever we do face in the future. And it's crazy, right? Because I felt like if we had this type of back line and they were all healthy, if Ronald Araujo was there, if Christensen was there, if Kounde was available, if Balde was at 100%, like how we see him today, we would have never been knocked out in the Champions League. Like this would have never happened if we had a back line like this. We would have never seen a 3-3 tie against Inter Milan. They would have never allowed 3 goals against us. So it's just crazy, right? But this is just how football works, and now we have to work towards the future, and the fact that it is possible to have Kounde, Araujo, Christensen, and Balde in that back line, it can work wonders, and Xavi Hernandez would be very, very happy. So Kounde has all of the qualities to become the best right back in the world. And I'm not saying, right, let me get one thing very clear before I like piss off a lot of people through this YouTube channel, because I'm not saying that Kounde is going to be like Trent and Hakimi, 2 right backs that I think are the best in the world right now. I'm not saying that Kounde is going to be following and is going to be replicating what Trent and Hakimi do. If Kounde commits becoming a full-time right back, and I know that maybe in about 5, 6, 7 years, maybe Kounde might go back into that center back position, but right now, if he commits on becoming a full-time right back for the next 2 or 3 years, he's probably going to look much more of a traditional right back than a modern fullback. And when I mean by traditional fullback or right back, I'm talking about like how Puyol and Maldini used to play before. I'm not talking about a Dani Alves type of right back or a Serginho Dest type of right back. Kounde will be much more traditional. He's not going to follow the exact same footsteps of Trent or Hakimi. So he'll be very bulletproof in the back, like 100% of the time, being very capable to take down players like Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., and then occasionally go up and attack. He's not going to be like a full-time attacker like what we did see with Dani Alves or any of these other right backs. But when he does go up, Kounde will be very efficient. Let's remember what Kounde did against FC Barcelona 2 years ago when he scored that golazo and he took down about 2 or 3 players on the right flank. You saw how he did attack. The only reason why he was able to do that is because he has a lot of physical power. Another thing that we saw in this season was him making that amazing cross to Lewandowski. I do not know if you guys remember, but he basically went up to attack and he crossed the ball into the box, and Lewandowski scored the winner for FC Barcelona. I forgot who was that team that we were playing up against. I think it was Sevilla itself. I could be wrong, but basically what I'm trying to say here is that Kounde has the technical power, the physical power to bring it all on the right flank. He has it. Like, this is just a fact. Now, here's going to be the biggest question, right? This is going to be the one thing that really does concern me. This has also been a player that has shown that he would much rather prefer playing as a center back than a right back. He has said this. You can go look on the internet on what Kounde thought about playing as a full-time right back. He did say that he prefers to play as a center back because he simply enjoys it better. He has much more experience in that position. So it's going to be dependent on what that player wants to do. There are a lot of factors have to come into play. Like Xavi Hernandez has to give that green light. Kounde himself has to give that green light. And hopefully Kounde listens if Xavi does opt for Kounde playing in that role. And I hope that Kounde just listens to what the universe is trying to tell him, because the fact that Deschamps and Xavi Hernandez are deciding for you, Kounde, to play in that position within the back line, that should tell you that you're probably playing at a very good level and you should continue to move forward with it. But let me ask you guys this question. Do you guys believe that Kounde should be our right back for the next 5 years? Or do you much rather prefer a modern full back, like bringing in someone like Serginho Dest back to FC Barcelona, or maybe bringing in someone like Trent from Liverpool? Ideally, what I would love to see by the summer of 2024, like for me, in my opinion, I know that everybody else is going to have different opinions, but by the summer of 2024, I would love to see a backline of Kounde, Ronald Araujo, Upamecano right next to Ronald Araujo, and Alejandro Balde in the left back position. I would love to see that by the summer of 2024. I understand that Upamecano just signed for Bayern Munich last year, which is why I do say by the summer of 2024, I would love to see that. I want Barcelona to try and go for this player, because if we can have Kounde, a Frenchman, Upamecano, another Frenchman, go into that back line with Ronald Araujo and Alejandro Balde, you just have something just amazing. I can't even explain what that would look like in 2 years' time. But hey, look, if Kounde does enjoy playing with Dembele, another Frenchman, then he would love to play with Upamecano, and I have seen what they have both done with the French national team in this World Cup so far, and I would love to welcome that at Barcelona, but I can only do so much. I only have so much influence on what Barcelona does. If I don't even think I have influence on what Barcelona does, but I hope that one day that does end up happening and Kounde becomes our definitive right back for the future. But that is going to be wrapping up today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one.